Also, I want to mention that we had a port captain who had a boat on B dock. It was a beautiful, beautiful ketch that he had built in Japan and sailed it over here. So he was not a novice sailor, but he got the idea that he wanted to put some salt water in the bilge to let the wooden boat swell up. It was a plank boat. So he came in one evening and opened a petcock to run salt water in, and apparently got distracted, or anyway, he went home. The next morning, the dock lines were holding the boat up. So normally I would go out that direction, but for some reason, I was living on the boat, and for some reason I went up the other way, so I did not notice the boat. But when I came back, everything was strewn out along the dock, and I thought that was pretty good about walking off and leaving it.
Okay.
You know, a few years ago, there was a craze going around about streakers. Well, we had our own streakers here, and you'd never guess who they were. There were two staff Commodores, and they streaked the dining room. Well, all you could hear was from the people in the dining room. And I'll name the two streakers because they're past, and they wouldn't care anyway because there was nothing bad about it. It was just a funny situation. It was John Pole and John Tanner.
Oh, wow.
And they were dressed in apparently pantyhose, dark pantyhose.
But it gave the impression.
Yeah, gave the impression they were naked.
So there have been some drawn shade parties here. What do you know about those, Paul?
Well, it wasn't a drawn shade. It was brown paper, butcher paper, taped onto the windows to close it up and make it private. And it was called the men's party, but it was this old-fashioned stag party. I never went myself because I was married at the time, and I didn't want to have an instant divorce. So anyway, the bar at that time had a center bar. It was fairly high and maybe a couple feet wide, and liquor bottles were on that part of the bar. And so they cleaned off the top of the bar, and that's where the girls were dancing. And I don't know what else went on in here, but it was very well attended. And I think the wives, a couple of years later, finally put a kibosh on the whole thing and said, "That's it, you're done." Bob Pavey had a CT-41 ketch, and he had won the club handicap trophy, believe it or not, because he could put up 18,000 square feet of sail on that. And so but he referred to it as this old turkey, this old turkey. So the night that we were doing the presentation and I was presenting the trophy to him, I thought, well, we got to play a little joke on Bob, being my brother-in-law, and I thought I'm going to get him. So I went up to Ramona. It took me all morning, and I found a ranch, a turkey ranch, and I bought a big tom turkey and brought him back down here, put him in a box, cardboard box, and so I gave him the trophy, and he accepted the trophy, of course, and I said, well, wait a minute, Bob, we had something else for you. So I opened the big old box, and this turkey stuck his head out and went, gobble, 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 gobble. Well, that brought the house down. So he didn't know what to say or do. So anyway, our intention was to give the turkey to some organization for food. Well, no one would take it because they couldn't do it without certain health requirements. So we took the box, put the turkey out of the box into a little mop broom area we had by the showers. And at that time we had a guy that came in early in the morning, Aaron, and so he opened that door and this old turkey stuck his head up and scared him half to death. So anyway, the story goes on where he came in and told the manager that what had happened, and the manager said, well, what'd you do with the turkey? He said, well, I put it in Bob Pavey's Mercedes. And the manager said, oh my God, because Bob always locked his car. So he had taken his turkey out and put it in the back seat of somebody's Mercedes.